Alright, welcome to another exciting episode of the Crimsonsith channel. We're going to be doing a review again today. We're going to be looking at the new TIE Silencer. It's Kylo Ren's ship from episode 8. And look at that beautiful ship. Yep. It is pretty long for a small ship. Not super wide, although arguably still a little wide. But for a small ship, it's not very wide. I think all the other small ships in the list or in the wave are wider, with the exception of the little shuttle from Rebels. But definitely a very long ship. Kind of looks like a tarantula in real life. Starting off with the lowest pilot skill card, it's a 4. I was surprised the lowest would be a 4, because usually for these things they have a 1 or a 3 or something. It is the Sinar Jameis Analyst. Pilot skill 4, 3 attack, 3 agility, 4 hull, 2 shields. And check out that action bar, pretty sweet, huh? Comes in at 26 points. It has a tech slot and a sensor slot. I love the fact that sensors are on the ship. Love it. So many options now with sensors. Next up is the 6 pilot skill, first order test pilot. Generic, does not have an ability. However, same stat line, and I don't know if you can see here with the glare, but it has an EPT. It's always nice. There's so many EPTs in the game now. That is invaluable. I need to pull these down here. Oh, it made it worse. Alright, moving on to the test pilot Blackout. Everyone's been talking about him. He's a 7 pilot skill, coming in at 31 points. He reads, when attacking, if the attack is obstructed, the defender rolls 2 fewer defense dice to a minimum of 0. I think that he has a solid ability. I mean, whenever the opponent is essentially rolling 1 less defense, the reason being 1 less is because -2 plus 1 for the obstructed attack is really only -1, but that's always good. Especially if the opponent only had 1 defense dice, because then, I mean, they're defenseless. I really like this ship. Actually, I guess if they want agility, it seems like they'd have to rule when that -2 effect would play, because it sounds like if they have 1, they'd still get 1. I don't know. Anyway, didn't think about that till right now. I think he has a solid ability. I think he should be boosted to a 9 probably, so you're basically spending another point on him. I don't like this ship as anything except for an ace, to be honest. But damn, another 8 good EPT that's free is the one where if the attack is obstructed, you roll an extra attack. But I don't know. Depends if you want to run a 7. Next is Kylo Ren, of course. Coming at a pilot skill of 9. He has an EPT, no brainer. First time you're hit by an attack, each round assign the I'll show you the dark side condition card to the attacker. I know this is not a new card by any means. It's his 3rd installment in the game, and he always has the same effect, but the card reads, when this card is assigned, if it is not already in play, the player who assigned it searches the damage deck for 1 damage card with a pilot trait and place it face up on this card. Then shuffle the damage deck. When you suffer critical damage during an attack, if you are instead dealt the chosen face-up damage card. When there is no damage card on this card, remove it. Now, I would like to remind everyone, I'm sure everyone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but you can look it up in the FAQ. This card goes through shields. And because when you suffer an effect, it goes back to the Vader crew card, essentially. You're suffering it. Again, if someone has shields, it would normally just hit the shields. That would be suffering it. So you wouldn't take a critical damage normally. But with this one, it's basically saying when you fail to cancel a critical hit, you would take that damage card. So essentially, this does get through shields then, because you're failing to block it, a critical coming at you. You would normally be suffering that against your shields. You would normally be removing a shield. So instead of that, you are taking this card. So it does go through shields. And that's how they try to flesh it out in the FAQ, and they ruled it does go through shields. So, hate me, read the FAQ. Please read the FAQ before you post angry comments, because people like tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, I have a list where I fly a Kylo Ren thing, him as a crew, and the whole point of the list is getting through shields. And what I love doing are killing ships like Quick Draw when they're still full shields. I don't know if I want to spoil everything on here, but I have a list where I can, or I have multiple ships that can get through shields. Wampa is another. I love Wampa. Anyway, the dial, 1 hards are white, 2 hards are green, all the 2s are green. Then we got the 3 Talon roll, which I'm super excited about with this ship. Then we got a white 3 hard, 3 slight green. Everyone's been talking about that. Straight 3 green, green 4 straight, 4 K turn, and wait for it, green 5 straight. This ship, they've announced, now has the most green maneuvers on it out of any ship. I thought they were wrong because I thought the A-Wing had the most, but technically this one beat it out by 1 maneuver. I couldn't tell you which one it is. I think it's the 3? I don't know. It has 1 extra maneuver the A-Wing doesn't have, green-wise. So it now has more green maneuvers than any other ship in the game. So I was super psyched about that. When I come back, I'm going to do the upgrades. Alright, now for the upgrades. Starting off, we'll start with Debris Gambit. We just talked about the Blackout pilot. Debris Gambit would probably go kind of interesting with his thing. Action, spend 1 evade token, or assign 1 evade token to your ship for each obstacle at range 1, to a minimum of 2, or to a maximum of 2 evade tokens. Can't read today. It is an EPT for the point cost of 2. Kind of interesting. There's two included in the pack. Not sure how I feel about it. Feels circumstantial. But definitely has its uses, I'd say. Next up, let's jump into perhaps one of the more interesting cards. The First Order Vanguard title. Obviously only for the ship. When attacking, if the defender is the only ship in your firing arc at range 1 to 3, you may re-roll 1 attack dice. And then on the bottom, separated by a small space, which means it's a different effect, and it says, when defending, you may discard this card to re-roll all of your defense dice. So, cool secondary effect. Oh, cool first effect too. They're both neat. It's only 2 points. I think if you got it, you got 2 points to spare. It's a really good card to throw in there. And next up, this pack has a lot of really good tech cards. Threat Tracker is the one unique to this one. It is small ship only. It's a new tech, and it says when an enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 to 2 becomes the active ship during the combat phase, you may spend your target lock on that ship to perform a free boost or barrel roll action if that action is on your action bar. A lot of words. It's a point cost of 3, but very interesting. I've been looking for a while for, kind of a new tech and to use on some of my ships, and I really like the options they're finally coming up with in this wave. So this is an awesome card, and then you're going to be tired of, if you watch all the videos, you're going to be tired of me just talking about this one. But Advanced Optics is another one I really like. You cannot have more than 1 focus token. During the end phase, do not remove unused focus tokens from your ship. 2-point cost is a tech slot. It's basically comm relay for focus, because comm relay allows you to keep an evade token that you didn't use, but also only lets you have one at a time. So the exact same thing, but focus instead of evade. I am going to be a fan of this card. If you get the resistance bomber, it also comes with 2, so you'll have 4 if you get one of each. Excuse me. Hiccups. Sensor jammer, we've seen this one before. Basically it's good if you're getting shot at. 4 points. When defending, you may change one of the attacker's hit results to an evade result. The attacker cannot re-roll the die with the changed result. And primed thrusters, another good old tech. Stress tokens do not prevent you from performing boost or barrel roll actions unless you have 3 or more stress tokens. And auto thrusters we've also seen before. Modification. While defending, if you're inside the attacker's firing arc beyond range 2 or outside the attacker's firing arc, you may change one of your blank results to an evade result. You cannot equip this card. You can only equip this card if you have the boost action icon. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, all in all, I like the ship. I think Blackout or Kylo Ren are pretty much the pilots you have to use for it. But other than that, great ship. Anything that has 6 hull and 3 agility and 3 attack and arguably the best style in the game is totally worth it. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this ship, but I think it's going to be tempting to load him out really heavy. So it's probably going to be 40-something points of your list. So he's going to be the new core and horn of the Imperial side, I guess. But I think he's better than Cornhorn, because Cornhorn only goes up to 5 hull and shields, I believe, with 3 and 2. 3 shields, 2 hull. Although he's more susceptible to Kylo Rens and stuff that go through shields. So I don't think this ship has that weakness. He has 1 less shield, but he has 1, overall total better health and more hull. And I don't think you see too many lists that go straight through shields, but unless you're flying me. But other than that, it's just kind of nice to have a defense against that element. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have several more review videos coming up. There were a lot of ships that were just released, and I'm going to try to crank them all out.